Hey guys, it's Core Ross and welcome to 6 News. Today we're doing an overview of the privacy mode or the streamer mode in Rainbow Six Siege's new season, Vector Glare. And this video is from the perspective of just a general person using it, not a streamer, but we will of course hit on all the streamer parts as well. But this is just for the casual player and how this is actually useful to you. So the full fat privacy mode has been released on PC and it will be coming to consoles at some point in the future, but it's doing a soft launch on PC right now. And I love this. Like, it's obviously made for streamers, but as a non-streamer myself, I've been loving the features we've got here, and it just makes so far, the overall experience of playing Siege much better. And us content creators have had access to it for over a season now, and we've been able to help fix a lot of the bugs and issues. There is still ways around it, but for the moment, it is by far the best implementation of a streamer mode Rainbow Six Siege has ever had. So let's jump into the options. You'll notice in the privacy tab here, we have a bunch of new options, and the top one is appear as nickname. So of course, if you want to, you can change your name to anything you want, and I love this. Now for streamers, that's great, but also just random people, I think it's awesome as well. Now you don't have to worry about reporting cheaters. They will still get reported under a real name, and also of course if you're doing any kind of reports, you give over the match ID as well, which is on the scoreboard, and make sure to give that over with your report, because that's how they actually find stuff. Otherwise it makes it almost impossible to follow up. But you'll notice now that if we go back, this is my new name, and we'll have a random bunch of numbers after it in the games to make us unique. So yeah, loving that. We also have the ability to switch to appear as you. This simply means that my username that I've picked is now simply you. That way it makes it harder to find me. If you're watching my stream and you're like, what's he playing as? You can't tell because it just says you, and it'll say you in all the different stuff that normally would have your username. Underneath that, we've got hide avatar. You can see that I've got my avatar here with Core Ross. If we go and switch that off, it disappears. And again, this is just to help hide you and make you more anonymous as a streamer. So for a normal person, this is not really something you would need. So appear as nickname, I think that's great for just a general player, just to be able to play around with your username and have a little bit of fun. But this and this, not really needed so much for a normal person. This, however, I think is really cool. So rename other players. This randomizes the entire team, or you can also randomize all but your squad, or you can just randomize the opponents only. And this to me is sweet. It just makes the game, I think, look better when you have these randomized names. And of course, opponents only might be the best option, or all but squad perhaps, so you don't get confused with your own teammates. But I love this feature, and of course this is useful for streamers, but also, like I say, I think that's a great thing for normal players as well. And then you have the last two options. So hidden matchmaking delay. You can do it 0 to 30 seconds, 30 to 90 seconds, or 90 to 180 seconds. You can also hide your region and latency. This is obviously to help streamers hide, because no one will know specifically what region they might be playing on. But I will point out about this. So this obviously is mostly made for streamers, but I think it's very handy too, because for instance, when I do ranked games, I like to put a little delay in between it to make sure I don't, potentially go up against the same team twice. So adding this random delay in here means that I can obviously queue up. I'll have a little bit more wait time, but then I'll probably be jumping into a game that doesn't have the same team. And you'll notice if we go and queue up now, that there is no timer being shown. There used to be one here that would show basically a fake timer just as soon as you started, but now it obviously shows that it's a hidden delay and it'd be impossible to guess. And of course, if you're a streamer, you don't, let them know which delay you've actually set. That is something you wouldn't show. But every so often, if you're a streamer, you come in here and just basically change this to a different delay, and that way you're more hidden. So yeah, this is the privacy mode. I think it's really good and I'm loving it. I think they've done a very good job compared to what they originally came out with basically over a year ago, which was horrendous. This is really good, and especially having it server side only and stuff like that, it's just brilliant. And I'm sure there'll be a lot of worries about cheaters going anonymous and stuff like that, but reports still work, the match ID still works. Of course, on Ubisoft side, they can see the real names, real accounts and all that. So it isn't a way for cheaters to hide. It's not a way for trolls to hide or anyone being abusive, because again, any reports and stuff like that goes straight off to the real name for Ubisoft. So yeah, this to me is wonderful, and we'll see how it goes out. There is ways around it, but for instance, trackers are being so far compliant with these new privacy mode options, and they should not be tracking the people using it. But hopefully as this goes on, and like I say, this is currently on PC now because it's kind of still getting tested before it finally hits consoles with what will be the final version. But these should all be the final options you have with this system. And like I say, I think the top ones are rename other players and appear, of course, as a nickname. So yeah, I hope you guys try out this privacy mode, and I will catch you next time.